everybody. It's so great to see you again. Look right over here at the screen. Are you looking? Are you listening? Are you holding really still? Good. Let's say today's bottom line. Beatitude means blessing. On the count of three. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Beatitude means blessings. Awesome job. All right, let's get down to it and talk about the Sermon on the Mount. It was one of the most famous and powerful sermons that Jesus ever gave. Jesus shared wisdom on all kinds of subjects. In my opinion, there was enough wisdom in the Sermon on the Mount to last us a lifetime. We could study this sermon our whole lives and always learn something new from it. Jesus started with a section on the Sermon on the Mount called the Beatitudes. Our series graphic looks like bees and honey, but that's just for fun. The Beatitudes actually don't have anything to do with bees at all. As you know, the word beatitude means blessing. Not just any blessing, it's a really good blessing. Everybody say, beatitude means blessing on the count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Beatitude means blessing. That was a good one. Over the next 3 weeks, we will discuss all of the Beatitudes from Jesus' amazing Sermon on the Mount. The Beatitudes can be found in Matthew chapter 5. The first one says,
"Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven."
Poor in spirit? What does that even mean? I'm glad you asked. It means that we know without the Spirit of God living in our hearts, we are truly empty inside. It's when we know that our lives should be more about God and less about ourselves. Without God, we would truly be poor, and if we embrace Him and make our lives about His will, we are blessed by receiving the kingdom of heaven and salvation. Everybody say, beatitude means blessing on the count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Beatitude means blessings.
Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted.
When someone mourns, it means they are really sad. So how could Jesus say blessed are those who are sad? How is being sad a blessing? That doesn't make sense. I've got some really good news and some not so good news. Let's go with the not so good news first, so we can wrap it up with the good news last. Just because you love God doesn't mean that you won't experience sadness, frustration, grief, or loss. The good news is God will never leave you alone to deal with things yourself. He's always there to comfort you and love you. So what Jesus is basically saying is, if you are feeling really sad, just hang in there because God loves you and He will soon comfort you. Everybody say, beatitude means blessing on the count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Beatitude means blessing.
Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth.
Are you calling me meek? Just checking, because if you were, I'd be cool with that. Here's why. A lot of people think that being meek is the same as being weak, but that's not true. Here's what I mean. When someone is meek, they understand that their strength comes from God. They lean on Him for guidance. Take a look at this little boat. With no wind and no sails, this boat isn't going anywhere. Look, it's kind of just floating, it's doing its little thing. Boop. It's kind of hanging out. Just like us, when we don't submit to God's power in our lives, we are lost, nowhere to go. Now, pop a little sail on this bad boy and a little bit of wind power, and boom, we're sailing. Jesus is saying that the meek who trust God and submit to His will be blessed in this life on earth. Jesus shared so much wisdom in His Sermon on the Mount. He wanted to show us how to be better Christ followers. He wanted to show us how to love God and others in the best way. He truly loves us and wants us to be blessed in big ways. That's what the Beatitudes are all about. Let's say the bottom line one last time. Everyone say, beatitude means blessing on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Beatitude means blessing. It was so awesome to hang with you today. We'll see you next time.